A person has done a sin, don't belittle him because of that. Who is from amongst us free from mistakes? Who? Every single one of us has sins. Allah is concealing it for us. Allah is hiding these sins for us. He's the one that's choosing to not bring it publicly for us. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every one of us is a walking sin. That's what we are. It is the rahmah and the lutf and the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can we ridicule one another when we're all full of mistakes? How can we shame each other when we're full of mistakes? When you stand in front of Allah, this is what you're going to have to respond to. Those people you've spoken against, that you've ridiculed, that you put down.
Early in the morning after Fajr, and this is what I'm reading in my bed. Basically every morning after Fajr, as you can see, I'm chilling in my bed, nice and cozy and comfortable. I've been doing every morning is I've been reading for about 45 minutes after Fajr, because it's literally like autumn time. It's about to be winter and it's very cold. So after Fajr, uni starts in like, I don't know, an hour or two. One thing I like to do to wake myself up, just something light. Just read a book and just learn as much as possible. So you guys can see all of the books there. It's too long for me to get up and show you, but if you guys need any of these books, links down there in the description below. Wait, why is this not focusing? There you go. And use our code MuslimsReconnect10 to get 10% off. Right now I'm reading this book, At-Tib al-Nabawi by Ibn al-Qayyim. Basically, it's about the medicine that the Messenger ﷺ used to use, and he also talks about many other different opinions and whatnot. It's a very interesting book. But one thing I wanted to say is, for example, I've read this book before already, like a long time ago. I don't really remember a lot of the information, but it's important that you understand this one thing, and that is knowledge is hifdhun wa fahmun. Knowledge is to memorize and it is to understand. And a lot of the times you'll see people do not memorize the evidences from the Quran and the Sunnah because they're looking for a shortcut, or they're lazy and they may give, I don't know, excuses. Oh, my memory is not good. But it's very important that when you read a book, don't just rush through it. Understand it and know what evidences they are using. What are the raw evidences from the Quran, from the Sunnah, from the Hadith of the Messenger ﷺ, and how they are connecting it. So understand it and memorize it. So when you're giving da'wah, when you're discussing with other people, you're able to give, this is seen in the Quran, in verse this, chapter this, and you're able to give them the exact evidence, and you're able to give them the tafsir, and you're able to give them the hadith in Arabic, and you're able to explain it to them in detail, because that is what you want to do. You don't want to take any shortcuts. You want to memorize the knowledge and you want to understand the knowledge.
If you want to benefit from your time and you want to bring the best out of it, you have to eliminate and get rid of gadgets that steal your time. And I say eliminate it. If it's going to take away from your time, eliminate it. If you have the discipline to use your gadgets accordingly, then inshallah ta'ala, use it in that which will benefit you in, and don't waste your time if it's not going to help you. These things, brothers and sisters, will work against you. They will distract you and they will take away from anything we're going to say today. One of the statements that my Shaykh said, and it sticks with me greatly, is if these gadgets were of so much value, Allah would have given it to the Prophet to aid him to spread Islam.
Usually guys, the Apple products are pretty good, but now that I got the Apple mouse, now I know why so many of my friends actually told me, don't get it, just get something better, because it's a bit too heavy and I don't know, it just feels a bit weird to use. But it could just be because my first time using it really. But I don't know, it's just weird to go to the top. The way it moves, there's too much moving around, you know. Raw honey with black seed. Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِذَا انْتَعَلَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَبْدَأْ بِالْيَمِينِ وَإِذَا نَزَغَ فَلْيَبْدَأْ بِالشِّمَالِ لِيَكُنِ الْيُمْنَى أَوَّلَهُمَا تُنْعَلْ وَآخِرَهُمَا تُنْزَعْ. Basically, when you put your shoes on, make sure you put on the right one first and then the left one, so that this is the first one you're putting on and the left one is the first one that you're taking off. So that's basically another way to follow the Sunnah as much as possible. I don't like taking the public transport, but I don't mind taking the bus over the train. The bus anytime over the train. But if I can walk, I'd always try to walk, even if it's like an hour long.
You're doing both of them, really, okay? If you're in Group 1B, then you go to the cardiac catheter lab.
This is the #1 joke man. He's with me.
Why have they put us in a duo?
Last time I wore scrubs was back in work experience, which was like 5 years ago. Yo, Gazwan, what did you see?
Education.
Subhanallah, guys.
Crazy. Your life can change straight away.
Guidelines are very heavy, they're very detailed, they're very difficult. BNF.
What your brother got ACL?
Yeah.
We're done.
Like, is it really going to affect Sadie?
No, don't do that.
And reduce blood clot risk as well.
Whole Tower Bridge blocked off. All buses are shut, and the only way home is to walk literally 2 miles. So on top of the whole day of placement, 9 to 5, standing on my feet, now I just have to walk 2 miles as well. The Messenger ﷺ said, "Ma'u zamzam lima shuriba lah," that the water of Zamzam is for that which you drink. So if you drink it and you make an intention and you make a dua to Allah Azza wa Jal, "Oh Allah, give me X, Y, Z, give me that which is good for me," then inshallah, if you believe in it and you're sincere, Allah Azza wa Jal will grant you dua. Today was my first day in the hospital placement, and I am knackered. I'm actually so tired. It's literally like almost 7 p.m. and I left my house in the morning at like 7, so I'm back after 12 hours. Actually, there's something interesting I wanted to say. I saw a lot of interesting things. I don't want to talk about it in this video, maybe in the later future videos that are more medical related. Inshallah, I'll speak about them. But basically, one thing I really realized when I was going through the ward rounds and, I was in the clinical care unit and I saw all these patients, subhanAllah, a lot of them were completely incapacitated. They couldn't breathe on their own. They, some of them were in a coma, whatnot. And something I realized is the Messenger ﷺ said, "Ni'matani maghbunun fihima kathirun minan nas." There are 2 blessings which many people, they simply overlook and they don't really use it to the best of their ability. And that is as-sihhatu wal faragh. It is your health and your free time. When you have free time, try to use it as much as possible to bring khair, to bring goodness to this world, to bring goodness to yourself and your families and the people around you, so that you can make this world a better place. And of course, another thing is health, because subhanAllah, like a lot of these patients, you'd see that they did not know that they were going to get into a major accident that would completely change the course of their life. Literally one day they're completely okay. They're thinking about, their mortgages, which is haram, of course. I'm talking about mortgages in general. Interest is not permissible, but they're probably thinking about, oh, how much money am I making? I don't know, I'm just giving you random examples, but they are thinking about the world. And before you know it, the next very day they get into a crazy accident, and subhanAllah, their life completely changes to the point where their life will never ever be the same. And a lot of these patients, subhanAllah, you'll see some of these patients were in a coma for like 6 months, and then the consultant would come in and they would say, actually, we don't think this patient has any chance of recovery. And then the family would come on the other hand, then they would say, no, we have hope, our family member is going to recover. And subhanAllah, when you see these things, you actually realize that it's a very, very humbling experience, because it makes you realize that at the end of the day, me and you are nothing, and we're going to go back to Allah Azza wa Jal, and that is the one and only truth. And one thing I realized is that when it comes to medicine, some days you will not have much time in your day to be seeking Islamic knowledge. So a day like today, literally I done nothing on placement. I was just so busy doing X, Y, Z. So I didn't really have much time for ibadah, much time to, just seek knowledge in general. So now that I've got 2 hours left, just bang out for the rest of the day before I go sleep, inshallah.